As you can imagine, nothing ever goes 100% smoothly. Our poor little heating system just not playing ball. That was me prepping for a lovely shower in a bucket. We're Mel and Paul, and this is our home. We're slowly fixing her up and doing our best to have a good time doing it. This is our version of boat life. Subscribe and welcome aboard. Welcome to Monday morning from Annabelle out on the wide open UK canals. We are spending the week living off grid, and I thought I would just check in with you. I'm about to go for a nice little walk and explore the new towpath that I have never been on before, so it's so nice to have new surroundings other than the ones we've had all the months of lockdown. As you can imagine, nothing ever goes 100% smoothly. So the morning that we actually set off, we clicked on the little button for our Webasto diesel heater. What that heater does is heats the radiators around the boat. We have two, one in the bedroom, one just down here, and obviously the heated towel rail in the bathroom. And we are quite lazy with our fire. So it normally goes out during the night, and it's so handy to have that heater. Click on the button and warms up the boat, gets it all nice and toasty while we get the fire going again. We went to do that on Saturday morning before we left, and lo and behold, nothing happened. We've heard it described before as a little gnome in the back of the boat banging on the engine bay with a hammer, and that little sound was not there. So Paul has an inkling as to what could be wrong with it, and when he gets back from work today, he's going to have a look at it and try and fix it. We have our stove on board, so not a tragedy. We still have warmth. However, it is a nice to have because it uses less power to heat water. So while it also takes the chill out the air and works along with the fire to warm the boat, it heats water, and that means we don't have to pop on the water heater, which obviously drains power. If there was no sun, say for instance, and the solar wasn't charging the batteries as much as we needed to do all the things that we need to do, then we'd have to run the engine. And it's not a bad thing, but it does make a noise and kind of ruins the lovely surroundings. So yeah, in the name of conserving power, we would like our Webasto to be fixed. One scenario is a cheap and quick fix. The other scenario that Paul had mentioned, which I couldn't tell you about because, as you know by now, I know nothing of these things, will be quite pricey. So we will see when he gets back if he can diagnose the issue. The man himself has returned home, and he is straight to work in the engine bay. A long one or short one? Medium?
Medium size one. Middle of the road, please.
Is this middle of the road?
Yeah, I'll do.
Got the handy cable tie situation.
Can you pass me a Phillips screwdriver, please?
When you say Phillips,
The star.
Do you want the small one or the big one?
Um,
Medium.
Medium one, please.
This one? When you said Philips, I literally thought you meant like the brand of electronics. And I was like, no, these are Halfords.
Oh, I need a bigger one. The biggest one, please.
Okay. This one?
Thank you.
Hey presto.
And presto. All out.
Do you want me to take that from me?
You almost think I know what I'm doing.
Well, still have to diagnose the problem.
Anyway. Cool. So, what we can do is I'll just put it up there. Cool. On to the next task.
What's that?
The fuel pump.
This is your Tuesday update. I am sitting on the bar, just on the well deck. I don't know if you can call ours a well deck because it's got a water tank underneath, so it sits quite high. But nevertheless, well deck, bow, front of the boat. This is where I am. You saw last night that Paul was taking out the Webasto heater, and he's taken that with him to work today, and hopefully they will be able to diagnose the problem and it will not be too much longer that we are dealing with lukewarm showers. You could say though then that we are conserving water by not having hot water, because we are definitely not spending a lot of time in the shower. We decided also to book in our boat safety certificate survey, I guess you could call it that, whatever the correct term is, and we're closer to the actual surveyor, so we booked that in. Unfortunately though, after Paul did the Webasto heater last night, he went to go and replace one of the fuel pipes which had a small crack in it. Obviously that is not going to pass the safety check, and that was the last on his list of jobs to do. And then unfortunately, when it came to putting the pipe in, one of the connections I think was the wrong size. We'll see when he comes back from work today what the scenario is with the whole technical side of things. I shall say again, you're never going to get that from me. And other than that, no further updates, just reflections on the water, checking out the swans. It's a lovely time of year, springtime, all the little ducklings are about, and yeah, the canal's looking really beautiful, things are green, and you can hear traffic from here. It's not dead quiet, but it's definitely quieter than being in the marina, and not complaining about that. guys, leaning far down into the engine bay to bring you your Wednesday update. I can't even get my hand there to point to what it is.
The fuel pipe's too short.
Fill us in, Mr. Monroe, on the dilemma that is the mess of our week.
Oh, the fuel pipe was cracked. So I had to get a new fuel pipe, but then the Vetus is metric, I think, and all the pipes and fittings and stuff is imperial. So I went into that minefield of options. Or we could have just got the correct metric things, but we are on the side of the cut, so I could only use what is available to me. So I bought an imperial fuel filter that takes imperial fittings so that we could repair the imperial, so then we put a new imperial pipe on, but the pipe's too short.
So there you have it, folks. Fun and games as per usual on our boat, except it feels a little bit more daunting because, like Paul said, we are out on the cut. Nevertheless, nothing we can't handle. We can deal with a lukewarm shower. What Paul has, there was just a guy came kayaking by the window. What Paul was just saying about the pipe not being the right one, what the frustration has been mainly is that he's been taking it on and off every day. So he's done it twice now where he's put it on at night so we can run the engine to get hot water because, as I said, our Webasto is not working. And the update on that is that they're only going to be able to diagnose the problem on Thursday, tomorrow. So we don't have that to heat our water, and the water heater just at night drains the power right down. So we are not using that. It has been then waking up early before work to take the pipe off, and then he's been taking it to work with him where there's a chandler's so he can get the right fittings, etc. Today was supposed to be the final day of that, and it just hasn't worked out. There is a centimetre to go, but yeah, he's going to have to replace the copper pipe. That means that we're not running the engine at all tonight, so no showers going down. Maybe a bucket of boiled water in the shower and we just pat ourselves clean or something like that, or just hold out until tomorrow when hopefully things work out. And that was me prepping for a delightful shower in a bucket, or shower with a bucket. Whatever the right way to word that is, it is definitely not an ideal situation. I know it sounds like I'm complaining, but I was pleasantly surprised and it's not actually that bad. I would dare to say that I preferred the expectation of actually doing that and knowing what I was in for than running the engine for a bit and then realizing that the water wasn't actually hot enough. So it's really pretty simple. I used 2 kettles of water, boiled on the stove and filled it with a bucket, then popped into the shower and basically did like who's that guy? Wim Hof or Wim Hof, the guy who does like the ice bathing and stuff, the reverse of that method. So I'm not into that vibe. I definitely like a hot shower and I'm not into getting myself cold for any unnecessary reasons. Turn on the cold water, which then dripped into the bucket to cool down the boiling hot water so it was the right temperature to use, and wet myself with the cold water, soaped up, and lather it all over to clean myself, and then you literally just use the bucket as like a splash, and it was warm and divine, and the bathroom even steamed up, so I didn't feel cool in there. Also, time of day counts, so do it around midday, 1 o'clock, when the sun is high, the boat is warm, and yeah, I would recommend that over standing in a lukewarm shower at night when the water cools down quite a bit and it just actually feels really chilly. So roughing it a bit, but not finding it that bad. In other news today, I am not doing anything very exciting at all. A bit of boat chores, so I'm gonna head out to do some grocery shopping. I love that bit about staying on the canal, walking everywhere, not having to use a car, the things you see along the way, the things you hear. I mentioned before at the beginning of the week about the little ducklings and things. It's really, really cool, just like walking about to do all your chores. So dump the rubbish, pick up some groceries from the co-op, and before that I did promise Paul that I would wash the bird poop off the roof of the boat and the solar panels. So a bit of a mucky job before I head out. Yeah, so I'm gonna get stuck into that and I'll check in with you later. Fantastic news, Paul is home from work and he has got the diesel heater with him, and turns out it was a minor issue of just needing to be cleaned out or something. He'll explain to you. Let's go see what he's up to. I'm just in from a walk and I've come back. Paul is home from work and I thought it best to fill you in on why there was an abrupt end to the update in footage last night. In an unfortunate turn of events, Paul was installing the Webasto heater again, but once he put it back in, we pressed that button and it just wasn't working. So he took it off again and took more bits apart, took basically the whole thing apart, cleaned what he thought he could, put it back together, holding thumbs. I even envisioned the shot of waking up this morning, going up to the little keypad, pressing the button, the red light coming on, and the little tick, tick, tick happening, and yes, that just didn't go according to plan. That took a really long time. So Paul was in the engine bay, it was after 8 o'clock at night, the sun had gone down long ago, and yeah, at that hour when you've got things to do in the engine bay, things just start to feel a bit grim. He then had to install the fuel pipe after being highly disappointed and irritated by the Webasto heater, and obviously now knowing that we have to splurge a little bit to get a whole new burner unit. I think it's like over £200, so not the ideal situation. To make matters worse, the boat behind us, we've had lovely neighbours the whole week long. They were having a lovely party and having drinks with friends, which just made us even more upset with life at that point. It seems to have been a week of late nights in the engine bay, an unfortunate sequence of events at an unfortunate time, and yeah, just not exactly how we expected our first week back out on the cut to pan out. Ideally, it would have been walks along the towpath after work, relaxing with drinks on the back of the boat, something along those lines. I forgot also to update you about the boat safety certificate. There's lots we can talk about with that as well, but I thought we've got quite a bit to say as well about how we had some issues when we first bought the boat, and our boat was actually registered with 2 safety certificates, and we've had a bit of a strange situation surrounding that. So perhaps we could do like a little informational video on that for you, and also let you know what the actual surveyor said about our boat. If you'd like to see a video sort of centered around the boat safety certificate, we'd be happy to do that for any new boaters. Any information helps, so if you'd like that, comment below, let us know, and we can do something to put that together for you. But yes, a week where it just kind of went a bit weird and wasn't the most relaxing fun time for us. Mostly not the most relaxing fun time for Paul. Would you like to give us a review of our wonderful week?
Disaster.
How did this happen actually? I keep thinking like it's such a strange...
We arrived here on Saturday and the Webasto heater packed up.
I've told everyone all the things. I've been giving I've been doing little video updates all along the way.
Yeah, well, that. Then our fuel line was cracked and perished, so we had to change that.
But it's weird how it all ended up happening. Do you know what I mean? Like if the Webasto hadn't gone, no issue. Yeah. And if you had known like about the difference in fuel pump, you would have installed it the first time, and the fittings would have been great. But it all went so weird.
All the gear, no idea. No. Imperial and metric mucking me around. But we got there in the end.
As we always do. As we always do. Strange as this week has been, if you have made it here to the end with us, thank you so much. We appreciate you coming along and having you to talk to and share all our ups and downs with. So yes, not the most exciting or successful week out on the cut, but there will be others and lots more fun times, we are sure. We travel back tomorrow and we will surely take you along with that as well, so that's what you'll see in the next one, so do stay tuned. I think we will be in much higher spirits when we are back moving along the cut. We shall see you in the next one. If you like coming along with us and you haven't subscribed yet, please do click that button, and as always, give us that good old thumbs up.